It's about 10:45 in the morning, West Coast time, on Monday, June 22nd, I think. Uh, Iran is bombing U.S. military bases in Qatar and Iraq right now. Before Donald Trump launched his attack on Iran the day before yesterday, Iran had said repeatedly that if the United States attacks us, we will attack their military bases in the Middle East. And they are following through on that right now as we speak. I looked it up before I came out here. I think there are about 10,000 active duty U.S. military service members at our base in Qatar, and there are about 2,500 active duty U.S. military service members at our base in Iraq. And it's still early. They're about 11 hours ahead of me, so it's about 9:45 p.m. right now at those two bases that are being bombed with Iranian missiles. So it's dark, it's nighttime. It will be several hours before we have any clear, decisive, final information about any damage to those bases, and it will be several hours before we have any clear and decisive information about casualties, service members who have been injured or service members who have been killed. I want to be very clear about this. Iran did not attack the United States prior to Donald Trump bombing them the day before yesterday. Iran posed no immediate threat to the United States before Donald Trump bombed them the day before yesterday. He did that knowing that we have 40 to 50,000 active duty U.S. service members in the Middle East who are within range of Iran's missiles. He launched his attack anyway. To think that Iran would not respond in exactly the way that they did, in exactly the way that they said they would, is dumb and stupid and naive. My concern right now is for those active duty service members who are at those bases. They volunteered to serve this country. They volunteered to serve under the commander-in-chief, regardless of who that person was or what party they were affiliated with. Donald Trump despises the United States military, except when they are serving him. The only segment of American society that Donald Trump despises more is law enforcement. Donald Trump is on record saying that members of the United States military, including those who were killed fighting on behalf of the United States, are suckers and losers. He has absolutely no concept of the idea of service to one's country, service to a cause greater than oneself, or volunteering to do any of that in service of a greater cause or on behalf of your nation. Donald Trump knew that when he launched his bombing attack against Iran on Saturday, that it would result with some number of dead, injured, active duty U.S. military service members. He did it anyway. There was no reason for him to do that. He did it because Bibi Netanyahu, being a malignant narcissist himself, he is smarter than Donald Trump, but he understands how to manipulate Donald Trump, and that's exactly what he did. We did this on behalf of Israel because Bibi Netanyahu wanted Trump to do it. And now we are going to have, presumably, likely, probably, some number of dead and injured active duty U.S. Military service members at these two bases. Again, my concern is for the members of the military at these bases. They are defenseless against Iranian missiles. There is nothing resembling the Iron Dome over Israel that is protecting these service members. They were 100% completely exposed, and Donald Trump knew that when he launched his attack. Hopefully, these service members had time to evacuate safely. Again, it's going to be several hours. It's going to be several hours before we know anything decisively. And it's like, who are we going to believe? Are we going to believe reports coming out of Pete Hegseth's Department of Defense? Are we going to believe reports coming out of Tulsi Gabbard's Department of National Intelligence? Are we going to believe reports coming out of Donald Trump's White House? Are we going to believe information or reports coming out of Benjamin Netanyahu's Israel? Are we going to believe reports or information coming out of Iran? We are in a very, very dark place for so many reasons, not the least of which is we are in a period of time where we do not have any sources of dependable, reliable, factual information coming from our own government. Nor do we have that relative to the Israeli government. We certainly don't have that relative to the Iranian government. And again, I made a TikTok a few days ago where I asked a question of MAGA that Donald Trump was going to be responsible for the deaths and injuries of multiple members of the United States military, active duty service members. Are you guys going to be as mad and angry at him for that as you were with your anger directed towards Joe Biden following our withdrawal from Afghanistan? Hold the same fucking energy, guys. This is a really dark fucking day, man. This is a really dark fucking day. Because people who volunteered to serve this country are going to be killed or injured because of Donald Trump's ego and narcissism and no other reason. And their deaths will be on his head. 100%. And he'll still blame Joe Biden.